तो आप हमें बता सकते हैं कि जो बलात्कार हो रही हैं इसको हम कैसे रोक सकते हैं? आप हमें अपनी राय दे सकते हैं श्रोताओं की जो आग लग रही है दोष किसका है, किसको हम दोष दे सकते हैं, इस पर हम किसको दोष दें, ड्राइवर्स को या फिर पुलिस को? नमस्ते फीजी, देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 पर मैं मोहिनी। हमारे साथ में शामिल हो जाइएगा दृष्टिकोण प्रोग्राम में हर सोमवार से शुक्रवार तक रात 7 से 8 बजे तक दृष्टिकोण प्रोग्राम में।
In this bulletin, customs officers seize suspicious parcels at post office. 2014 general election ballot papers go to print. And military says it will support elected government. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. Customs officials have intercepted a parcel that is believed to contain pseudoephedrine, one of the substances used to make the illicit drug methamphetamine. The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority has confirmed 5 packets of white powder were sent to Fiji from Ukraine. Christopher Chand reports.
The parcels weighing a total of 5.5 kilograms were intercepted by customs officers at the Nandi Airport Post Office on Monday. Preliminary tests conducted yesterday have revealed the presence of pseudoephedrine in the contents of the packages, which were addressed to a local. This is the latest case involving the alleged importation of illicit drugs. Earlier this year, customs officers seized packages on separate occasions based on allegations of illicit drugs entering the country. 2 cases are currently before the Lautoka High Court. A case involving the alleged importation of illicit drugs in chocolate cookies is also pending in the Suva High Court. Pseudoephedrine is a controlled substance under the Illicit Drugs Control Act 2004. In a statement issued today, the Fiji Police Force is reminding members of the public of hefty fines in place for those people found to be involved in this illegal trade. The 5 packets have been sent to Suva for further analysis as police officers continue their investigations. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
We now cross live to our Nandi office and join Christopher Chand in the West. Chris, can you give us an update on this?
Yes, Jackie, the local involved in this case is a prominent businessman who is being questioned by police and is in custody. Authorities have said they will continue to fight against the trade of illicit drugs on our shores. Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority CEO Chitoko Tikolevu says the latest find is a show of their vigilance and commitment in ensuring they keep such illegal substances from entering the country. According to Tikolevu, their officers will work with other stakeholders to continue to monitor and protect our borders.
Thank you for that, Christopher. 700,000 ballot papers are being printed in Suva tonight. The Fijian Elections Office awarded the tender to Star Printery based in Raiwai. The facility is now under heavy police guard. Edwin Nund reports.
The ballot paper is being printed in this machine and we are supposed to finish printing the ballot papers by this afternoon.
This is what your ballot paper looks like. Not a sample, the actual document on which you will cast your vote. This process is duplicated at different parts of the printing factory, all of it under the watchful eyes of the Fiji Police Force.
Police started providing security. We started when we started printing, and they will continue to provide security until the end of elections.
By tomorrow morning, the Fijian Elections Office will be ready to send out ballot papers to the different pre-polling venues in the more remote parts of Fiji.
We are looking at printing close to 715,000 ballot papers. These will be then bound into stubs, and that is the reason why we have extras, because if you have a ballot paper, if you have a facility that has got, say, 413 voters, 413, we will not be able to send them 13 ballot papers. We'll actually have to send them a book of 50, because we are binding ballot papers into books of 50.
Nearer to polling day, as the Elections Office starts rolling out its resources, these ballot papers will make their way to different polling venues. For now, though, they remain under lock and key.
After the printing process is complete, the ballot papers are then perforated, then bound, and then they will be stocked. And that will be then transferred to our secured facility.
As work continues in printing 700,000 ballot papers, the election supervisor has confirmed that in the spirit of transparency and credibility, all political party representatives were taken through a tour of the entire factory floor so that they themselves could observe the printing process. And this was also done with the multinational observer group that's in the country. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
The Republic of Fiji military forces will support the elected government and accept the outcome of the 2014 general election. Speaking at a parade to welcome military personnel who have just returned from the Golan Heights, RFMF Commander Brigadier General Mosese Tikoitonga urged them to remain apolitical at all times. Vusita Kotewasawasa reports.
While commending his troops for a job well done, the military commander says soldiers who have served in peacekeeping missions overseas now know firsthand on how religion and racial differences can harm a nation.
God has enabled us to go and serve in places overseas for us to witness firsthand how hard life is, where there are differences through religion, racial discrimination, and no one has experienced it better than you in Syria, a country where a religion fell apart, which saw a nation fall.
The same. And the type of the Constitution. We will protect the Constitution because we want to defend Fiji.
Mosese Tikoitonga says the 2013 Constitution relates to the RFMF and it must protect it. As the country prepares for the elections in September, Tikoitonga has instructed his men to stay away from politics.
We favor no one. We are apolitical and we are non-partisan to any political activity. We stay neutral as members of the Fiji military forces.
He says the military will support the elected government. Meanwhile, some soldiers were eager to relate their Syrian experience.
We saw
the hand of God in protecting us while we served there. The difference when we first arrived, for the others who had served there before us, when reaching the checkpoint where Syrian forces were, they never stopped, as the Syrian forces had their guns on them whenever they approached. We saw how the Lord gifted us to have the humility to get off the vehicle, talk and laugh with them, and that changed how they saw us.
The handover took only 2 days. So we had to start from scratch. All records were removed. We had to open up new Microsoft accounts, set up a database system to get our treatment, get all the UN personnel on the database and to get them treated and so forth. Was a challenge for us.
Over 300 soldiers were present at the parade at QEB in the Lainambua today. Tikoitonga thanked the families of the returned soldiers for their personal sacrifices they made to ensure that their men and women were able to serve their country. Vasita Kotewasawasa, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, Israeli surgeons perform special surgeries at CWM Hospital.
How are you doing, Fiji? Yes, indeed, fast approaching, well, the major bulletin. But before we even talk about the major bulletin, what about my little news flash?
Oh my gosh, please don't let him get me started on that again.
Getting on the bus yesterday, and then he tells me, brother, move on to the other seat, because we can fit 2 people where you're sitting.
Hey, you can't blame the dude for being honest, okay?
There was nothing honest about what he said. Hi, I'm Pimil.
And I'm Fina.
Your daybreak duo on Gold FM. From Mondays to Fridays.
From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Turn us on.
Nisambula, oyo Mr. Ben. Kelapa. Nama kikira ni vima taka mundi chikira vorumbu kama ina ono kena liwa Enabula FM.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. 3 experts from the European Union will join the multinational observer group for the September 17th elections. EU Ambassador Andrew Jacobs says he is pleased with their inclusion in the group.
And together they have been involved in over 70 elections around the world. They've been observing elections, they've been providing technical assistance to elections bodies, and we're very confident that they will provide a great deal of expertise, a great deal of support to the multinational observer group.
The 3 election observers are expected to arrive in a couple of days. The One Fiji Party launches its manifesto tomorrow and says it will do it differently from the rest. Chanel Sivan spoke to the party leader about their strategy.
They're the newest players in politics and one of the last to reveal their manifesto. This, according to the leader Filimoni Vosarongo, is a campaign strategy and will reveal its policies in stages.
We're doing it differently. It's not going to be a one-out reading of the entire manifesto, entire policy. We're going to be doing it in piecemeal on a daily basis so that we can capture a larger audience, and every day you'll be able to have people that can go back with a piece of it and digest it and go on to the next set of issues that we're going to be issuing out the next day.
He says even though they do not have much time, as 20 days remain for the polls, they are adamant they will be able to cover the bases before the elections. One of the promises which will be revealed tomorrow is how they will boost Fiji economy.
The economy, you can't be able to resolve it in the next 4 years. We should be realistic about these things. So there ought to be a 10-year or 2-term plan on how to effectively deal with economic issues of our nation. How do we deal with education policies? How do we produce the next generation that will not only compete for local jobs, but also compete for local market, for the local job market, for the global job market?
The One Fiji Party has majority youth candidates, and their major focus is to empower the young people in Fiji. It's their votes that they are counting on. While they are pressing against time to get their message across, till date they have spent $30,000 in its campaign. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
27 Fijian police officers currently on peacekeeping duties in Liberia have not been affected by Ebola and are in good health. Due to the virus, World Health Organization has declared an international public health emergency. The Fiji police force receives daily reports from the contingent commander as a result of the growing concern about the outbreak. ACP Henry Brown says the officers are taking precautionary measures implemented by the UN. This morning's report stated the officers are all in good health, and if there were any risks to their health, the Fiji police force would be notified by the UN.
They have their own protocol by the United Nations, where they have the evacuation and all in place. But right now, there is no risk or threat.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health is advising Fijian citizens against non-essential travel to Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia and Nigeria until further notice. A team of 4 surgeons from Israel specializing in ear, nose and throat surgery is currently operating in Fiji. Sharon Lata reports this is Israel's continued support towards the health ministry.
This is the second time the surgeons have performed surgeries at the CWM hospital. They are here to conduct specialized surgeries on people suffering from mouth and throat cancer, tumors in the nose and various ear disorders.
We're working together with Dr. Jay Gallagher, who is the ear, nose and throat surgeon for the country of Fiji, and he has been looking after patients here over the time, and he has been finding patients that would benefit from our joint involvement.
The team believes Fiji lacks the resources and facilities to conduct these type of special surgeries. However, they are pleased with the level of skills displayed by Fijian doctors and nurses who assisted the team.
Rapudel has been operating on head and neck cancer cases. He's saved a couple of lives, and I've been operating on people with ear problems.
Patients from as far as Kiribati were in Fiji to take advantage of the surgery.
I also find that a lot of the cases are a little bit more advanced than what we would see back home because of the difficulty in acquiring ENT care here. So things are a little bit more extensive surgery. We do more extensive surgery.
The team from Israel have so far operated 22 people. The youngest one was 1 year old, while the oldest patient was 70 years old. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
Sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Good evening. In sports tonight, top provincial teams ready for HFC Bank Fairbrother Challenge, and Ben Ryan to name his National 7 squad tomorrow. These stories and more after the break.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर. छाया है नशा मेरे आंखों पर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर. रह जाए ना प्यासा मेरा प्यार, मेरे बाहों में भर दे मेरा यार, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर. हाय मिर्ची एफएम पर मैं हूं जितेन शांडिल. शामिल हो जाएगा हमारे साथ टुनाइट शो में Monday to Friday from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. मिर्ची एफएम. It's all but you're never gonna get it. तेरे हाथ कभी ना नहीं.
So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick. And plus, I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumnaka, my name is Rio, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7. Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The 2014 HFC Bank Fairbrother Challenge is all set to roll after it was launched in Suva last night. Good news for teams as they were given some financial support amongst other giveaways to prepare for the challenge. Talenta Dakadaka has more.
Back to defend the HFC Fairbrother Trophy, the BLK Nandraga rugby side gave rival teams a glimpse of the most coveted prize in local rugby. In launching the challenge, the major sponsors reminded invited guests on how important rugby is to the nation.
When it comes to Fiji rugby, our stadiums are jam-packed, and I am sure you will all agree that this sport is a leading sport and is the catalyst to bring our people and communities together.
Each of the challenges were given $2,000 each as preparation costs, a set of uniforms, as well as 10 rugby balls.
Only senior teams who finished the 2014 Skippers Cup season in the top 8 positions on the Skipper Cup points table are competing for the 2014 HFC Bank Fairbrother Challenge. These teams are the champions, Nandraga, Naitasiri, Nandi, Suva, Northland, Namosi, Watukola and Tailemu. This will also include champions from the Telecom B division, which is currently underway.
Naitasiri has been granted the first challenge this weekend. It will be a whole different ball game as provincial teams try to wrestle the trophy from the Stallions. Talento Dakadak, FBC Sports.
Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan will name his first squad of the season tomorrow. After fitness tests in Suva yesterday, the coach was in Singatoka today with Western players. Ryan maintains his task is to find players who can fill in the positions of hooker, rover and wing to replace Samisoni Viriviri, Benito Masilevu and Donacio Ratumbuli, who have taken up overseas contracts.
I think actually if you look, some of the boys that maybe are back from that have played in previous years in one position, maybe I'm thinking perhaps one or two of them could play in other positions that might cover those players that we've lost. So I'll see how they all shape up next week. But no, they are the three areas that we need the cover in is hooker, rover and winger. That's my priority at the moment because I was pretty happy with our halfbacks and our forwards last year. So it's filling those positions.
Ryan's first assignment in the IRB World Series will be at the Gold Coast Sevens in Australia on October 11th and 12th. National Under-19 basketball reps preparing for the Oceania Championships in December are receiving some quality game time in the Tuckers Secondary Schools competition in Suva. The players in the men's and women's side are representing their own schools in the competition, but the experience will serve them well for the regional tournament.
This is very important for their preparations. We're using it as a tool to expose them to competition and also the pressures of playing at home. We're also viewing this as part of their their eligibility status in terms of what the coaches want to see and how far they've improved from the 2 months when they started, and also use it to cut when the teams get cut on the 6th of September.
Marist Brothers High School center Joshua Tuimbua is also a member of the National Under-19 squad and says it was tough going up against some of his teammates from different schools.
Well, during competition, it's all about winning, and after competition, they're friends, and time to play. It means business. So.
The Oceania Under-19 Championships will be held in Suva in December and will be the qualifier for the 2015 World Under-19 Championships in Greece. The 2014 Inc. Mobile Battle of the Giants goes into knockout stages this weekend. The 4 semi-finalists had a week off to prepare, and Fiji football expects the quality and standard of football to be at top level. Indra Singh has more.
The Fiji FA House is working on the final lap of getting all things in order to ensure the last round of the BOG ends on a high note.
Well, from our side, we are basically done. We have everything. I mean, it's the player's card and everything is done. The registration is done.
Suva, Rewa, Lotoka and Ba have 1 week to prepare for the last 4 clash, which Kumar says should see them come out with all guns blazing.
From the team side, the teams had a break of about a week now. They last played on Sunday and the next game starts on Saturday. So that was enough time for recovery and preparation and correcting their mistakes. And I'm sure the districts will take advantage of the time given, the grace time given.
Tickets have also gone on sale and friends have been reminded to get them early to avoid disappointment.
The important thing to know that we have now reached the semi-final and final stages. So it is now getting to the climax of the event, and definitely it should attract a bigger crowd.
Teams have also been working hard, and the 2 southern sides, Suva and Rewa, know despite playing on home territory, it will not be an easy task.
After 3 hectic matches, I think 6 of my players are still have got knocks here and there, and they've been referred to the physio, and we'll await report in the next 2 days.
Yes, for the southern fans, I think it's good for them to come and see. The 2 teams from southern are playing semi-finals, so there's a chance to come and watch some beautiful soccer this weekend.
With 3 days to go, all the talk amongst the football faithful is about the BOG. Who will be called the Giants of 2014 will be known when the dust settles on Sunday. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Former Ba coach Yogen Dutt has been roped in by the Fiji Football Association to be part of its panel of national mentors. That was released by the Ba Football Association after the Vodafone Fiji fact. He will start his duties with coach Kamal Swami and the national under-17 side, who are preparing for the OFC World Cup playoffs in January in American Samoa.
Yogen Dutt had approached us and everything that he wants to be associated with football, and he wants to coach the national teams. And we had a good meeting with him on the weekend, and he has agreed to assist the under-17 team and to take it to American Samoa in January. And this is something that he has got the caliber. We had sent him to England and everything, and he will be doing his B license coaching certification this December.
Top local chess players will compete in the Flour Mills of Fiji National Junior Championship in Suva this weekend. National Under-20 champion Keys Terubia will receive stiff competition in defending his title against top players Minash Farid, Zen Borg, Stanley Zhang and Austin Koroi. National rep Hilda Vuki Komwala will also provide stiff competition in the tournament after returning from the World Chess Olympiad in Norway earlier this month.
A lot of prizes will be awarded out. You'll have encouragement prizes, you'll have participation prizes, and you'll have overall prizes as well. So there's a lot of fun for younger players. The good thing is that all the old senior players are over 20, so this is a chance for the youngsters to step up and show everyone what they've got in them.
The FMF National Chess Championships will begin at 9 a.m. on Sunday in Suva. That was your sports for tonight. Good evening.
Tharbi Patel Group has reported an increase of about $104 million in revenue and income this year. This represents an increase of just over 1.4%. After-tax profit for the year was $5.9 million, an increase of 11% compared to the previous year. The board has proposed a final interim dividend of 10 cents per share. This brings the total dividend for the year to 14 cents per share. Weather time with Trish.
Thanks, Jackie. Despite the fine weather, those winds were cold over Suva and Savu. The dry spell weather in Nandi Lotokamba remains, and in the north, there were also fine weather in Lambasa. Temperatures: Suva and Nandi 27, Lotokamba 29, Savu 27, and Lambasa 29. Tomorrow's forecast: expect the clouds to remain over Suva and Savu in the morning with brief showers late in the afternoon. Nadi Lotokamba and Lambasa all might have fair conditions all throughout the day. For mariners, a strong wind warning remains in force for all Fiji waters. East to southeast winds 20 to 25 knots. Today's photo was sent in by Michael Max of Suva. This one was taken in northern Lambasa. You can send us your favorite snapshot of the weather scenery from around the country to citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Recapping our top stories tonight. Businessman questioned about suspicious parcels seized at post office. 715,000 ballots papers to be printed for election, and police say their officers in Liberia safe from Ebola virus. Now time for the Fijian Speak segment.
View them to focus on much more on no corruption with land titles and all, because I came through that. My family went through that.
I want them to talk about education. I want our ministers to think about our children so that when they grow up, they get good jobs. And I don't want our leaders to forget our children once they get into parliament.
About God and His kingdom. Yeah, that's what I think, and I believe in my heart. Yeah, it's about God and His kingdom now. Yeah, that's what they should be focused on now. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And to receive the latest headlines on your mobile phone, text subspace FBC to 777. That's all from us tonight. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good evening.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर आपका स्वागत है बच्चों की दुनिया में। हमेशा की तरह आज भी हम आपके लिए कहानियाँ और कविताएं लेकर आए हैं और बच्चों आप हमें कॉल भी कर सकते हैं। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर मंडे टू फ्राइडे 3 से लेकर 4 बजे तक बच्चों की दुनिया में और 4 से लेकर 7 बजे तक मस्तानी शाम के सफर में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।